Hey, it's Jessica Cardon, your nosy neighbor here in Southeast Idaho. Thanks for joining us today because we're talking about a super important subject to me, probably to you too, HVAC. Now you might think this is going to be really boring, but au contraire, mon frere, we're going to find out all the ins and outs and all the cool things we've got with going on with HVAC right now because there's a lot of new technology and a lot of options for you. And we're going to talk to Falls heating and cooling specialist right here in Southeast Idaho. And they're a local business, and if you love local businesses like Falls Heating and Cooling, please make sure you like, follow, and especially comment and share these videos. That helps our local businesses get more exposure and get more business. Speaking of business, I am a real estate agent, and if you're thinking of buying a home or selling a home, or maybe it's time for your first investment property, or maybe you just don't know if it is the right time, we'd love to give you a call, love for you to call us, or you send me a message or shoot me a text. And I'd love to answer all your questions. It's never too early to start planning for your next home or your future home or your first investment property. Or maybe getting your kids their first home. All right, give me a call. All my information's below. All right, we're gonna talk to Larry Stegall today with Falls Heating and Cooling Specialist. Larry, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Let's talk about the amazing and riveting world of HVAC.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what is Falls Heating and Cooling Specialist?
Falls Heating and Cooling Specialist is an HVAC company here in Southeast Idaho, like you said. We're family owned, family run, very small. And I think that the best thing to describe us is we're trying to keep you comfortable in every season.
Love that. So let's talk about that. Now I've got a bunch of questions, but
Absolutely.
First of all, if they have HVAC needs, heating, air conditioning, repair, replacement, whatever it says, how do they get a hold of you to get on your schedule?
You can call us, text us, email, and you can also visit our website.
What is your website?
It's fallshvac.com.
Right below, right down there. Fantastic. And how long does it take? What's your schedule like? If someone has a need, are you weeks out? Are you months out?
Typically, we're within a day or two.
Wow. So if somebody has an air conditioning go out, I'm not going to mention any names who had one go out this year, you can be out in a day or two?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay, I've got a million questions.
Okay.
Let's talk about HVAC. So there's a bunch of different ways that you heat your home. Southeast Idaho has a variety.
Absolutely.
Do you guys fix them all?
We fix everything that's solid fuel or electric that's not within the wall.
So trickily, you just said you're not fixing in-ceiling heat.
Correct.
That is the ever elusive in-ceiling heat.
Yeah.
So what if someone's ceiling heat goes out? What do they do?
Well, we have a lot of different options. We have ductless options. We have, if their home has the ability to it, we can install a forced air system.
Which is ducts, which means it blows
correct.
airs, but ductless has no
right
ducting work through the house.
Correct.
Okay.
In most occasions like that, I'm probably going to recommend a ductless solution. It is the most energy efficient in that type of situation.
Is that always electric?
Yes, it is 100% electric. And depending on the brand, depending on the model that you want, they heat and cool all the way down to anywhere to around, I think, negative 22 degrees.
Wow. So, holy cow. So why would you pick that over a ducting system? Let's say you don't have, what's the difference if you're having those installed? Let's say if you have an existing home.
So if you have an existing home, a lot of split level homes are a lot easier to have ductless systems installed. Or if you have, say that your master bedroom is a little cold or a little hot and you want to compensate for that, that's a really good option too.
Do you put them in basements?
We do, yep. They can go anywhere except for bathrooms, anywhere that has condensation.
You don't do condensation on ductless?
Correct.
Gotcha, makes sense. Gotcha. Okay, so as I think about the ductless, we call those, is that mini splits?
Yes, that's another name.
A mini split. Yep. You hear that a lot in real estate, is mini splits. Yep. So how much does that cost? I think about that, if you've got a house and you like your master bedroom to be cooler,
right,
rather than changing everything, you could just put a mini split or a ductless in your master bedroom?
Correct. And you're looking at anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 depending on features and model and things like that.
Is that per unit Or is it always 3,000 to 5,000 if you added multiple units? Or is it, how does that work?
So that's the 3,000 to 5,000. That is your, what we call in the industry, a 1-to-1 system. So 1 outdoor unit, 1 indoor unit.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So let's talk about air conditioning, because that also, those mini splits or ductless can do air conditioning or heat.
Yeah, right. They're called heat pumps, and so they can do both heating and cooling.
What's the difference between a heat pump and a furnace?
So a furnace, when you say furnace, typically you're talking about electric furnaces or oil furnaces, or what's most common, natural propane gas furnaces. Mm-hmm. So the difference between a heat pump and those is those use an actual fossil fuel to use to heat, mm-hmm. where the heat pump uses straight electricity. Interesting.
Gotcha. Is there any restrictions on a heat pump? It can't go in Island Park, or is it anything like that?
There's only efficiency restrictions as far as a heat pump goes.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about furnaces.
Okay.
How do you know if a furnace is going to go out? What's our age limit? When should we be prepared? Because nothing is worse, and it always goes out in the winter.
Right.
I guess that's because we don't use them in the summer. Don't record that. I'm smarter than that, so just so you know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Why do they always go out when they're using them?
So the biggest telltale of whether a furnace will go out or not is filter replacement. A lot of people don't think about that.
This is flossing.
Yes.
By the way, this is exactly the thing that they say about flossing.
Yeah.
If you just flossed, you wouldn't lose all your teeth.
Yep. So I've seen gas furnaces that have been in for 50 years that had regular maintenance done to them. And I've seen furnaces that have only been in for 5 years that didn't have regular maintenance done to them and fail.
Filters are the key.
Yep.
How often do you change your filter?
Yep, that's your first step.
So
and we actually have a couple of plans that makes it to where it's no nonsense for you. We can set up those plans where we come out a few times a year, depending on what your budget is, and we can take care of those filters for you even.
If you're so lazy, we won't mention any names, that you need someone to change, you guys will do that for you.
Yep, absolutely. Or another thing that I've heard is people don't like to go in crawl spaces because of spiders.
Yes.
I don't like spiders either, but I'll go in there for you.
But you'll do it for them.
Yep.
Oh, that is true. That's truly a kind gesture. Yeah, I don't like the spiders. That's for sure. That's true. So let's talk about when filters, since filters are the key.
Right.
There's the skinny filters and then the thick filters.
Right.
Why one or the other? And does every furnace how does that work?
So typically it's based on your duct design, which size of filter you want. Most furnaces can use, when installed, if installed with one of the other options, they can use any size filter that you want.
Like any thickness?
Correct, yeah. And any thickness of filter that you want. Most of your filters like that, it really just depends on what you're going for as an installer. Are you going for ease? Are you going for more maintenance? Things like that. And there are pros and cons to all of it.
Makes sense. So this would be a good way to talk to your HVAC guy.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not going to mention any names. This guy. So let's talk about all those things you do. So you do repair.
Correct.
Which is, it breaks down and needs to be fixed.
Yep.
But you also do replacement.
We do, yes.
They'll come out, replace the whole thing.
Yep.
How much is that going to cost? What if you don't have the money?
So it really depends on, replacements really depend on what you're looking for. We always have a very budget-friendly option. And then we have other options that, if say your furnace breaks down and you want to get it replaced, but you're also kind of worried about air quality. We have many options to add to that, like our electronic air cleaner, which would replace your filter. And then you'd have what we call HEPA, but it's a MERV 13 or better filtration system like that.
And then you don't need to change the filters?
Well, you do. But
you always need to floss.
Correct.
You always need to floss.
Correct. You always have to change your filters. But they're even easier because it's a once a year maintenance on an electronic air filter. So it really depends on the features, but we always have budget friendly options and we offer financing to help any budget.
that might need that help.
Correct.
Excellent. So now that's existing, but you guys also might be building a home. You guys do initial, like if someone's building their house, you guys will do your install.
Absolutely, yep.
Excellent. Do you have to coordinate with the builder, or can they hire you, and you just get with the builder and you make it work?
We can do either way. The homeowner can have the builder contact me, or the homeowner can contact me directly and I can talk to the builder. We can do either way. We're very flexible that way. Just give us a call.
I love that. All right, did we miss anything that we haven't talked about that you guys are like, you need to know this?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Just give us a call.
Give you a call. Awesome. All right. So this is Larry again with Falls to Falls, heating and cooling specialists. All the information is below. Check their website out. Give them a call. No reason not to be comfortable.
Absolutely.
You have somebody to help.
In every season.
In every season. All right. That's awesome. Thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
All right. Check out the information below. And thanks for joining us. This has been Jessica Cardon, your nosy neighbor, keeping you in the know.
The nosy neighbors keeping you in the know.
Nosy neighbors keeping you in the know.
The 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 nosy neighbors keeping you in the know.